Hey there. Welcome to Millennium.Milestone Presents, a site dedicated to storytelling in books, movies, video games, and other exciting genres, where I'm still waiting for 13 solar cycles to renew my driver's license at the Galactic DMV. Well, we meet again, DC Studios, and boy, do I have a lot to say about your one-off episode of Lanterns. Let's get into it right now. Considering that James Gunn was so talented in doing Guardians of the Galaxy, it would come to think that this would be simple in his wheelhouse to just simply have space cops in space investigating space adventures. But instead, we got space cops in Nebraska. So here we are, 1996. Hal Jordan is recruiting, or at least training, backup John Stewart to prepare him for the role of being a Lantern one day. Hal, ever his charming self, picks up John to go to a crime scene, and of course, in their first back and forth banter since he's been gone for roughly 2 weeks, according to the story, he decides to test John once again by throwing a ring on the dash, jumps out of the car, and lets John figure out how to get out of a falling car off a ravine. Good training for a start. We are given a little bit of some background because once John gets out of this little situation, he summons the ring and realizes there's a backup memory system that jumpstarts a pretend Hal who asks a bunch of very odd questions to him that makes John wonder what's going on there, and he just kind of puts that in the back burner of his mind as he tries to go find John once again and to investigate a shooting spree that took place at a football game. The mystery begins to deepen as they realize that there's at least one other person that was a witness to what took place, and Hal has his eyes fixed on that person, but lets John take care of the footwork as he chases him down, brings him in for questioning with the police. Of course, never mind that this person hasn't committed a single crime yet. There's no weapon on him or any type of evidence that he needs to be arrested. So technically, he shouldn't be detained. You gotta be shitting me. We're introduced to our first girl boss of many we're going to get in this. And trust me, there's going to be plenty of girl bosses in this. And buckle up. Here we go. This one, of course, is the police sheriff of the town. Why not be a female sheriff? Unless if there isn't enough of them as there is out there in the world. Who basically bosses around Hal and John, telling them that they cannot question their witness because she has jurisdiction.
Shut up, bitch!
So of course Hal comes up with the clever plan to pick a fight at the bar and get himself arrested, hopefully getting a chance to talk with the witness that he wants to get to, but that doesn't happen even after getting locked up. However, he's instead arraigned in court where, of course, another girl boss judge is waiting to eviscerate him as well, when all of a sudden, a lawyer shows up out of nowhere, gets him out of his situation. Now he has a new ally. Or maybe not. So conveniently, John and Hal are brought over to a ranch where a leader of a very huge arms group is at a ranch here protecting something that Hal can't quite figure out just yet. And while the two talk and try to understand one another in terms of aliens from another world coming to immigrate into our planet, interesting enough that he mentions that, John runs into someone that he did not expect. So you remember when during the bar fight, John carried a conversation with an older woman? Yeah, about that. Let's rewind back to that situation.
TunePocket.com. TunePocket.com.
Hi.
As if banging a MILF would be shocking enough, which in this day and age, no, it's not really, but still is. And, well, you see my reaction to John doing that. That's not the only thing that's a little messed up about all this. Take Exhibit B.
Grandma! Grandma, I got one too! Toby, sweetheart.
This is not okay. This needs to stop now. This is cancer. This is so much cancer that I can feel the tumors growing on my back. And it's way down heavy on me, and it's not okay.
I'm left speechless here. I'm a little bit annoyed because at this point, what are we doing? I get that a lot of writers in Hollywood, a lot of directors, a lot of creatives out there, like to ground things in reality.
Son of a bitch!
Okay, I took a breath into a paper bag, so don't worry, I won't be doing that anytime soon. But Mindy, Lindelof, and King, I despise these morons. These soy boy, beta boy morons need to not ever write for a comic book in any given fashion ever again. King wrote the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow that was based on the Supergirl movie. We know how that went. This is what we're still getting with this Green Lantern series. This is the kind of crap that we don't need in a comic book series, let alone a movie or a series. This is absolute garbage beyond belief. And I know this is episode 1. Wait for it, please. There's at least 8 other episodes. I'm sure it's going to get better. I'm sorry, but DC has not earned our trust in any way possible. They have not done so as far back as Batman v Superman and now. Hell, they haven't done it for quite some time. So, I'm sorry, but this has already turned me off really, really fast. Alright, after that splitting headache, let's come back to the main story here, where Hal and John finally the next day get to interrogate the suspect. Hal, of course, through a few field questions, begins to realize that this man not only is definitely not from Earth, but likely has a bomb strapped to himself that has the power to decimate an entire town. Using some quick thinking here, Hal shields the entire man under the power of his ring, letting an explosion occur inside the shell and protecting the entire town, showing his heroics like any Green Lantern would in any situation. So I guess the episode has finally redeemed itself, of course. So I guess we can move on to episode 2 without any other things to complain about. Right?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. About that. Another slight detail I forgot to mention here. Hal's dead. We're in the present day. John's been called back to the scene of where this heroic action took place. And of course, he's a frozen corpse on a football bench with a bullet to his head. This is what DC Studios likes to offer us as grounded storytelling. Much like The Last Jedi. Much like every other movie that has ever taken a legacy male hero and buried it 6 feet under and told us this is great storytelling, that this is how you create cinematic moments. In case you haven't noticed, this has been a repeated pattern, and there's just comes a point where this is not original anymore. This is not even close to, oh, we're being unique. Oh, we are giving you something special. No, you're just giving us a heaping pile of garbage. And that's really what this is, and I'm sorry, but as of right now, with episode 1 of Lanterns, this is a heinous rating of a show for me. It's going to have to really climb a huge hill with me to even begin to convince me that this is a better show. So, with that in mind, that's my thoughts on the show for the moment. Not really happy with the way it's going, the framing, and how they're setting this up. We're going to have to see. Maybe by episode 8, it's going to be a happy ending with a bow on it. We'll see. Maybe I'm being a little harsh, and you guys can let me know in the comments what you thought of this show, if this was a little bit better. But as for me, I'm kind of done with this. Like, share, subscribe, you best better believe I'll be back for the next one.